here at the Scribbled Bookcase. Welcome back to my channel, so happy you could stop by. Believe it or not, it is September already. I know I can't believe it. Kids are back in school. I work at a college and that just started again, and it's just crazy. I can't believe that time moved so quickly, and where did my summer go? I'm sure we're all asking that question. August especially just seemed to fly by. And so here we are in our bullet journals, ready to start in a new month. But before I jump into September, I want to do a quick walkthrough of everything that happened in August. Alright, so here we are at August. I'm very sad that I have to say goodbye to this cover page, at least for now. I really enjoyed making this and getting to look at it every day when I open my bullet journal. I'll probably keep August in for another month or so, but eventually I'm going to have to take out these July pages in August to make room for other months because I'm getting kind of chunky here, so we need to fix that eventually. So I have my habit trackers here. Didn't change too much for September in terms of what I was tracking, but I did take away read because, as you can see in August, I didn't really have a problem sticking to reading as a habit. I think I have made that pretty much a part of my daily routine, and so I'm not going to bother tracking that anymore. I'm going to save my habit tracker for things that I actually really need to keep track of because I'm less likely to do them. And so over on this side, especially with staying vegetarian a few times a week, exercising, and devotional, I just didn't do that well in August, and it's something I really want to focus on for September, which you'll see in my goals. So August goals, I did accomplish some of them. So YouTube channel, obviously, we're rolling and getting that going. Couch to 5K I didn't start, I'm really embarrassed to say, but I'm planning on starting it in September. I really am, like for sure. This will happen in September, I promise. Now that it's cooler out, it's more comfortable to go running, it'll be great. Writing at least 4 days a week. It wasn't 4 days, but I was writing a lot more, so I'm proud of that. And grad schools, as you'll see, I'm getting ahead of that game and starting to get into the application season. So yeah, I think I did pretty well overall with my August goals. I also stayed up to date with my gratitude log, which is always fun to look back on. So that, as you can see, is all filled in. So here are some of my August spreads. I tried at the beginning of August a new thing in which I did my to-do list, my reading tracker, and my water tracker on one side, and then my memories on the other side, and I kept to that for a little while. I kind of enjoyed it, as you can see. So that was actually quite productive, I found, in terms of keeping me motivated. I really like this page in which I did my memories as little doodles for each memory, and then in a corresponding color did a little bit of journaling to talk about what that doodle represented. So that page turned out really nicely. For my to-do list over here, I just crossed it out and said, you know what, just enjoy today. You don't need a to-do list, it's Saturday, and so I gave up on that for the day and just focused on being happy. And you need to do that sometimes, guys. Sometimes, especially on weekends, you don't need a to-do list, you just need to be happy. So on this page, we went to this art show at a local nature center, and one of the person's business cards was this really beautiful watercolor. I guess that's watercolor, I'm not sure. It's like a postcard, but it's a business card on the other side. So I just did a little tip in of that. I really liked the look of it, and I wanted to keep it so I remembered that day. The 8th through the 12th, I tried something a little different with my setup. I was going to be away for the week, and so I knew I wouldn't have a lot of time for journaling. So I just made these small boxes for Monday through Friday, in which I did a little bit of journaling. I tracked my water on the bottom, and then had this little book in which on the left side is the book I was reading, and then how many pages I read of that book. So I really liked this setup, and I think I might try and incorporate this somewhere into September as well. Especially with working, I find that I have less I want to record in my journaling just because, you know, I'm not going to record the fact that I printed out 50 papers and, you know, all of the stupid office work things that you do. that take up so much of your day. So I think I might try and shorten once again the journaling space in September and allow more room for to-dos, and still though keeping my Saturday and Sunday with enough room for journaling since I do not work on the weekends. So this Saturday we went to a wedding, so I just did this little night sky because it was at a planetarium, and wrote I do with the rings. This was my first day of work, so I wanted to commemorate that day. Do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. I love that quote, and I think it's so true. I think a lot of times we can think that we're above certain work depending on what degrees we have and the place that we expected we'd be in, but really you just need to do what you have to do until eventually you will achieve your dreams just by pushing a little bit each day. So some more pages, just memories. Once again, my to-do list, reading, and water. So keeping with that setup. I really like this page. My one kitten was laying on top of my book while I was trying to read it, so I wanted to remember that moment, and you know, one of the few times that I really enjoy my kitten, because usually they're getting into everything and driving me insane, but that was a really cute moment and I wanted to have that just in here as a special memory. I read a lot that day, so that's always nice to see. And yeah, so that's just a fun page. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of that week, I wanted to focus on doing kind of one doodle to represent really like the meat, if you will, of that day. So on this day, we went to see Ben-Hur. Really great. I'm not sure if it's still out in theaters, but if it is, I highly recommend you go see it. It's just, yeah, it's not just chariot racing and crazy Romans like the trailer makes it out to be. It has a much deeper message, and I highly recommend it. There also was a crab fest that my family threw that we went to, so I drew this crab and then doodled on the inside of the circle. And then we got crepes, my best friend and I, on Sunday, so that's what that is there. Monday through Friday of the 22nd to the 26th, I just didn't journal. There was just a lot going on in my life and I didn't get to it, so at the end of that week, I decided I would just make this August highlights for that week, just make it kind of like an at-a-glance thing. These are the main things that happened that week that I want to remember. So quick little snapshots of the week rather than having journaling for every single day. Which, you know, if you're really busy, but, you know, even when you're really busy, there's still like important little moments that happen. And it might not be enough to record something every single day, but doing it either weekly or monthly is just really nice to be able to have that to look back on. So I really do recommend that even if you can't fit in full-on journals like this every single day, do try and wrap up the main memories you want to remember from that week or from that month at the very least. So Saturday and Sunday we're just journaling. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were also just journaling. I wasn't trying to keep track of things. My boyfriend actually left for Alaska on Monday, so I have this little Be Brave sticker, attitude is everything, because, you know, long distance is not a circumstance anyone ever wants to be in, but you really do have the choice to choose your attitude even when you can't choose your circumstances, and so I just wanted to remember that, and these stickers were the perfect way to just put that message in my mind and try and stay positive, right? Because today is a new day, and it's a great time for new beginnings, because as much as I love him, you know, sometimes when he's gone, I just get a lot more done, so maybe I'll be more productive with him gone, and so it'll be a good time to get some new beginnings in terms of my own life. Okay, so that brings us to my August memories. So at the end of every month, I just like to record the main things that really stuck out from that 30 days, 31 days, whichever it is, and record those main memories in the form of little doodles, because you know I love my little doodles to represent the happenings of my life. So here I have this big doodle that I just cut out because this is the Curb to Superb Designs logo that I created for my mom and my Etsy shop. So I just wanted to remember that day that we finally really got it up and running. Still have a lot of items to upload, but I'm going to post the link below, and if you're interested in checking that out, you definitely can. I also went to the Finger Lakes with my mom. She brought home new kittens. Stranger Things, I feel like everybody on the internet is talking about this show, but I promise there's a reason. It's so good. It's really scary. I don't recommend watching it in the dark, but it is really just entertaining and great escapist kind of series in terms of everything that's going on right now in life. It just takes you totally out of the present moment and immerses you into a whole new world that's super fun and entertaining and just suspenseful. Highly recommend it. Once again, we had that crab fest, started my new job. Once again, Ben left for Alaska. Went to the movies twice. I saw Ben-Hur and Pete's Dragon. Oh, Pete's Dragon was so good too, guys. Oh, just tears. All the tears. It was so sad, but so beautiful. Bryce and Sarah's wedding as well. So just lots of things going on in August. It was a really great month, even though it flew by, and so I'm happy that I have this to remember it all by. Now we move into September. Alright, so by all these lovely tokens, September days are here with summer's best of weather and autumn's best of cheer. That's the quote I selected for my opening welcome page. That's by Helen Hunt Jackson. I found it on Pinterest, but it's just so true. I just love September because it really does mix the perfect weather from summer with just that air of change and renewability that comes with autumn. So I'm really happy to be starting this month and to be getting more into the autumn flair. So when I turn the page, I have my September habit tracker. So like I said, I'm not tracking reading anymore. What I am tracking is my GRE study because I'm planning on taking the GREs, which is an exam you have to take in order to attend graduate school for anyone out of the States or who doesn't know about that. That's what that is. And so I need to start preparing for it, and I need to track that I'm actually preparing for it because I'm taking it in October. And so that is replacing my reading. In terms of my habits, all of the other habits are the same. I'm tracking my veg days, exercise, no TV, days that I'm writing, and days I'm doing devotional. And then at the bottom here I have, we are what we repeatedly do. Success is not an action but a habit, which once again is so true. And so if we want to be successful, we just have to work at it and turn it into a habit and repeatedly do things that we don't even want to do just because we know it's going to get us where we want to be. That's life, unfortunately. In terms of the leaves and the beauty that is this page, it all happened thanks to this beautiful stamp and my Tombow brush pens. So this stamp I got at Michael's, I believe, for like $2. It's just a leaf. That's what the other side looks like, and that's what it looks like when you actually stamp it. And you could use this with any kind of ink. I use my Tombow brush pens because I really like the precision that using pens like this gives you when stamping. So you can see on this page I was able to mix colors in terms of having the red along the edges and then this golden color and then the green in the middle. And that's because when you use pens like this, you can really precisely put the ink where you want it to be. So I do recommend, if you're into stamping or want to try it out, getting a set of Tombow brush pens because they're great for lettering, as you can see here. This is also Tombow brush pens, but for stamping too, I really like using them. So highly recommend. And yeah, so I just used this leaf stamp across the page, and you'll see that that is kind of my theme for September, is the changing leaves. Obvious reasons, right? And I just drew a few other little leaves and dangling off the sides of the trackers as well to add a little something something. And then my next page is my September goals. So Some of my main goals are begin grad school applications. Once again, studying for the GREs is a big part of that, and so that's why I'm tracking it on my habit tracker. I also need to start personal statements and contacting people and all of those lovely things that go along with applications. Developing an exercise routine, because I really do want to start Couch to 5K again, guys. I promise I'm going to do it. Post 15 Etsy items. Once again, something I really want to do is get the Etsy store really rolling. 300 Instagram followers. This was my goal in October. I didn't quite, or October, who am I kidding? I'm rushing ahead. This was my goal in August, but I didn't reach it. And so now that you're all aware that this is my goal, you could go check out my Instagram page, which I'll have posted below, and you can subscribe to that. I post pages from my bullet journal regularly in there, so if you want more up close and personal views of the pages in which I'm not flipping through things and rushing my hands over it, you can check out my Instagram. I also want to read at least 3 books, make at least 5 YouTube videos for you guys, and do devotionals regularly. So that's just a few things I'm hoping to accomplish in September. Once again, using the leaf stamp on this page. And then the I'm thankful for. This page, I'm really happy with the way this turned out in terms of the leaves, just kind of creating this border. The way I did that was to just put a piece of paper like this, as you can see. This is an envelope that I was using. And you just put part of it behind the page that you're trying to do this on, and then stamp so that only half of the stamp you're using is on the actual page. And that's a great way to get that kind of nice border effect in which you only have half of the actual stamp. At the bottom, I have trade your expectations for appreciation and the world changes instantly. And that's Tony Robbins. And I love that quote for a gratitude log. It's very fitting. And so I have 1 to 15 in terms of the days that I'll be doing gratitude on the first side, and then on the back side I have 16 through 30. And I wrote here, expect nothing, appreciate everything. And so that once again ties in with this quote in terms of the appreciation versus expectation idea of giving thanks. So that is just what I've done for September thus far. So I wrapped up August and then made my welcome page, my habit tracker, my goals, and my give thanks gratitude log page. And then these pages back here are just going to be where I start doing once again my dailies. I think I am going to trim down the journaling a little bit during the work week and try and fit in more to-dos. And I wanted to also show you, since my GRE portion is obviously such a big part of my goals for September, I wanted to point out that I also made a new collection for my GRE test prep, which looks like this. So I have GRE test prep for the general test, and I have this book that is just the people who make the test have a test prep guide that they put out every year. And so I bought that, and I broke down the chapters for each week leading up to the time in which I take the exam on the 14th. And so, you know, week 1 up until this Sunday, basically, I'm going to read chapter 1 and chapter 2. And then by week 3, I'm going to be reading chapter 7, and so on and so forth, until eventually by the last week of September, I'm going to be taking the practice test and starting to really get ready for the exam. So I just made that as well. I wanted to show that to you. If you're interested in seeing any of my other collections, I do have a whole video devoted to all of my other collections. I don't think I have any other new ones that aren't in that video. So there will be a link down below for my collections video. If you're interested in checking that out, you definitely can. Here's a little preview of all that fun stuff. And so yeah, that is September, guys. I'm super excited to start a new month. There definitely is just that sense of getting to start over when a new month begins, and I'm really excited to experience that. So if you have any questions or comments, things you want to talk about regarding my bullet journal, please do comment down below. And I'd also like to know what you are interested in seeing from me next. Whatever it is, I would be happy to talk about that if you just let me know that that's something you'd be interested in. So, like I said, comment down below. Please do subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. And I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. God bless. Bye.